The flight attendant accidentally dropped a spoon on the floor. Passenger poured boiling coffee at 100 degrees directly onto her, but she didn't dare get angry. The passenger was none other than the noble princess of Thailand. She had reserved the entire plane. She even requested that only one flight attendant serve her for the entire flight. The flight attendant grew more and more frustrated. To get revenge, she took off her high heels and used them to stir the princess's coffee. Then she handed the cup to the princess with a smile. But just then, the princess noticed that the ring on the flight attendant's hand looked exactly like her own. She glared, then stomped on the flight attendant's foot with her high heel. Even so, the flight attendant had to hold back her anger and force a smile as she brought the princess her lunch. But the princess continued to be difficult. She said she wanted the flight attendant's crew meal instead. The flight attendant knew the princess was allergic to seafood, so she offered her some shrimp noodles after picking out all the shrimp. But as soon as the princess took 2 bites, she started coughing violently. The flight attendant panicked. The princess ignored her and rushed to the restroom. Then the flight attendant noticed a photo left on the seat. She picked it up and froze. It was a picture of her and the prince. She was terrified. As she stood up, she suddenly saw the princess standing behind her, staring coldly. When the flight ended, the flight attendant saw a news report on TV. The princess had died. Because she was royalty, her body had to be transported immediately. The worst part was, before dying, the princess had requested that the same flight attendant escort her body. Afraid of losing her job, the flight attendant didn't dare refuse. But soon after takeoff, the plane hit heavy turbulence. The shaking was so intense that the princess's body fell from the seat. It slid across the floor, straight toward the flight attendant. In a panic, she unbuckled her seatbelt and hid in a corner. Only after everything calmed down did she slowly approach. She tried to lift the body back up. Suddenly, the princess's body moved slightly. The flight attendant was terrified. She called the pilot at once, but the pilot said the turbulence was not over and told her to keep watch over the body. With no other choice, the flight attendant forced herself to lift the princess back into the seat. This time, she tied the body down tightly. She thought it was finally over. But then, something terrifying happened again. Luckily, it turned out to be just a nightmare, or so she thought. Suddenly, she heard the sound of high heels clicking on the floor. She slowly walked toward the princess's seat, but to her horror, the princess's body was gone.